Newsfirst at 9. Headlines.
It's the 16th of May 2014. You're with Newsfirst, Sri Lanka's first international news brand. A very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to the News at 9, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outsgoon with tonight's headlines. BJP claims comprehensive victory at Indian general election. President Mahinda Rajapaksa congratulates Narendra Modi. Large crowd of devotees flocked to the Sirasa Vesak zone on the third and final day. We do not want alternatives to the fuel subsidy, a demand from fishermen in Puttlam. Let's now cross over to our Newsfirst studios for a comprehensive news bulletin.
A very good evening and welcome. I'm Sonali Vanigabadake.
And I'm Adushka Balasurya.
We start off first with tonight's local news. Today is the final day of the Sirasa Vesak zone, organized to commemorate the birth, enlightenment and attainment of Nirvana of Lord Buddha. Devotees visiting the Sirasa Vesak zone have the opportunity to pay homage to the sacred hair relics of Lord Buddha, the sacred relics of 12 disciples and the sacred Agrashravaka relics of Sariputta and Mogallana. The Sirasa Vesak Kalapya is sponsored by John Keel's Holdings PLC. Now the venture is supported by Eslon Lanka Private Limited. Devotees have the opportunity to visit the Sirasa Vesak zone throughout the night.
The Teletorana at the Sirasa Vesak zone was declared open by opposition leader Ranil Wickramasinghe this evening. A group including Executive Vice President of John Keel's Holdings, Varuna Rajapaksa, spokesperson of John Keel's Holdings, Dilip Mudadeniya, and group directors of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, Senarath Kapukotua and Nedwa Singha, were also present at the occasion. The Teletorana, a unique creation in view of the Sirasa Vesak zone, which stands at 80 feet tall, features the prominent Jataka stories of Mahasara and Silava Nagaraja. Opposition leader Ranil Wickramasinghe also paid homage to the sacred hair relic of Lord Buddha, the sacred Agrashravaka relics of Sariputta and Mogallana, and the sacred relics of 12 Maharahat Theros.
The enlightened one has said nothing is permanent and everything is transient. When you look at the pandal here, you realize the transient nature of the life we lead and the transient nature even of the technology. But this is a part of the Buddhist culture. This pandal, the display of the relics and the other decorations is all meritorious acts according to the Buddhism that we follow. The Maharaja organization therefore has to be commended and thanked for undertaking this meritorious work. They have also sponsored and helped other Buddhist religious activities, and similarly it also helped all the other religions. This is also occasion on which the new Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has to be congratulated. He is a person who has a lot of interest in Buddhism. As the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he has helped the Mahabodhi Society, and he comes from a town which was famous even in the annals of the Chinese monks for having over 10,000 Buddhist monks residing in the Pirivena.
Meanwhile, the Dansala at the Sirasa Vesak Kalapya was declared open by Executive Vice President of John Keel's Holdings, Varuna Rajapaksa. A group including opposition leader Ranil Wickramasinghe and spokesperson of John Keel's Holdings Dilip Mudadeniya attended the event.
Now, John Keel's Holdings PLC is the main sponsor of the Sirasa Vesak Kalapaya. Speaking to Newsfirst, spokesperson for JKH Dilip Mudadeniya said that his organisation acknowledges the opportunity granted to be a part of the Sirasa Vesak zone.
We have come to the last day of the Sirasa Vesak Kalapaya, which is, I think, for the first time John Keels have actually got involved in this event, and we believe it's our involvement was actually as a result of the total organisation that's conducted by the Sirasa Media Network. And we have seen the large number of Sri Lankans as well as foreigners who have flocked into this area and to experience different kind of events that have been organised during this pageant. And we believe that the Sirasa network, that what they have organised is something which beyond a person can comprehend, the logistics that has gone into that, and we truly appreciate the work that had gone in. John Keels has a company which has almost different multiple brands got together to help this event, and through this John Keels Foundation, where every business actually contribute 1% of his earnings every year to this foundation in order to do social justice, in order to do social network, social activities. The outcome of this Sirasa Vesak Kalapaya is extremely positive, and we believe that Sirasa Action Media Network will get more strength into next year for this to be a success.
The exposition of the sacred relics of Lord Buddha as well as his chief disciples and other Maharat Theras commenced at the Sirasa Vesak Kalapaya at 3 p.m. today.
Following special religious observances, the sacred relics of Sariputta and Moggallana Maharat Theros were placed at a special enclosure established at the Sirasa Vesak Kalapaya. The Theva ceremonies for the sacred relics were conducted by the Mahasangha, headed by Venerable Banagal Upadesa Nayaka Thero, who is the president of the Sri Lanka Mahabodhi Society. Following religious observances, the public were granted the opportunity to pay homage to the relics.
I have seen for last 3 days that there was a huge number of people who has come here, devotees who has come here to worship the relics, and also the hair relics of Gautama Buddha. And this opportunity was given to the public by Mahabodhi Society of Sri Lanka and Maharaja organization. So I am especially thankful to Maharaja organization to provide this occasion to general public of Sri Lanka.
Anuttaro Ekomi Samma Sambuddho.
Today is the third and final day of the Sirasa Vesak Kalapaya, so we invite all Buddhists in Sri Lanka to come and pay homage to the sacred relics. The relics will be placed here for every single person to pay homage, so that even the very last person in line will receive this opportunity.
A special blood donation campaign was organised parallel to the Sirasa Vesak zone today.
The blood donation campaign commenced at 9 o'clock this morning at the head office of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited on Braybrook Place, Colombo 2. A large number of people attended the camp since this morning to donate blood. The blood donation campaign that was organized was successful. We were able to obtain a large number of pints today. On behalf of the National Blood Bank, I wish to extend my appreciation for organizing such a successful blood donation campaign.
The blood donation campaign is a novel initiative that we have introduced for the 4th Sirasa Vesak zone. It was extremely successful. At the same time, I express my gratitude to all the donors who came here. It is a good deed that they have done in this time of need. Thereby, we hope to hold this blood donation campaign every year on a larger scale.
It's almost 9:15 p.m. but large crowds continue to make their way to the Sirasa Vesak zone at Braybrook Place, Colombo 2.
We are thankful to the Sirasa Media Network and wish them the strength to undertake this initiative better the next time.
Your efforts with the people in lieu of Vesak Poya is indeed a great deed. I'm witnessing the Agroshravika relics for the first time. A group of elders from the Gamini Mata Elders Home located in Colombo 2 were provided the opportunity to pay homage to the sacred relics at the Sirasa Vesak zone. Elders with special needs were brought to the Sirasa Vesak zone via an emergency service vehicle. The elders later on paid homage to the sacred relics.
Leader of the Democratic Party, Saurabh Fonseca, also attended the Sirasa Vesak Kalapa today. The leader of the Democratic Party, Saurabh Fonseca, paid homage to the sacred relics at the Sirasa Vesak Kalapa this evening.
We have been coming here annually. Sirasa chairman and his staff has been instrumental in arranging this activity every year during the Vesak time. And you see a large number of Buddhist devotees come here, and they come to pay their respect to the relics. And also you see the Dhanasalas and various activities here. What Sirasa has been doing has become a tradition now, annual tradition. So what Sirasa is doing in good faith, trying to do some service for the country, especially for the Buddhist devotees, is very much appreciated. It's a great service for the nation and the country.
Prominent members of the clergy, artists and politicians were among those who visited the Sirasa Vesak zone today as well.
සැරියුත් මුගලන් මහරහතන් වහන්සේ ආනන්ද මහරහතන් වහන්සේ එවකට ආනන්ද මහයිස්වරයන් වහන්සේ පසුවනේ මහරහත් බවට පත් වුණේ.
සිරස වෙසක් කලාපය කියලා කියන්නේ ඉතා උනන්දුවෙන් සහ ඉතා
The Sirasa Vesak Kalape is organized with much enthusiasm in a very respectable fashion. I have come to the Sirasa Vesak Kalape every year that it has been held and have participated in the programs. It is very well organized and the people who come here can freely pay homage to the sacred relics. When organizing such an event, these traits are very important. But this is not unusual for Sirasa. We have seen how Sirasa has always had these traits no matter what they do in this country.
හැමදාම තිබුණා ඒවා අපි අමුතුවෙන් කියන්න ඕනේ රටේ මොන දේ කළත් ඔවුන් ඒක හරියට කළා කියලා අපිට පැහැදිලි.
වැඩපිළිවෙල සාර්ථක වෙන්න හේතුව තමයි නිවැරදි දැක්මක් තියෙන.
This program has been successful because there was vision and planning. It is the same with everything they do, and I bless them for successfully organizing this program in view of the commemoration of the 3 stages of the life of Lord Buddha.
සාර්ථකව මේ භූමිය තුළ සිද්ධ වුණා.
බුදුහාමුදුරුව අග්‍ර කරගෙන මුල් කරගෙන
I believe this is an event that brings a lot of blessings to our country and the people. The Sirasa organization will be blessed for organizing this. The opportunity they have given us to pay homage to the relics is very valuable. As an artist, I have great appreciation for the task that everyone at Sirasa had undertaken.
Not everyone has the opportunity to come and pay homage to the sacred relics in this way. I believe that this grand undertaking that has been organized by Sirasa is a major good deed, and I believe the Buddhist people too gain immensely from this endeavor. Now our very own Ramesh Irugal Bandara is standing by live at the Sirasa Vesak zone with the latest on the proceedings there. Let's join Ramesh now for the latest. Ramesh, over to you.
A very good evening, Madhushka. I'm joining you from the premises of the Capital Maharaja building in Colombo 2, where the Sirasa Vesak Kalape is currently underway. Now, incidentally, this is the final day of the Sirasa Vesak Kalape, so we invite all devotees to come to the Sirasa Vesak Kalape in Colombo 2 and witness the festivities that we are having here. Now, one of the main attractions of the Sirasa Vesak Kalape is the exposition of the sacred relics, that is the sacred relics of Lord Buddha, as well as the Agra Shravaka Theros. Now, what else will devotees that arrive at the Sirasa Vesak Kalape be able to witness? Well, we have the Sirasa Vesak digital Vesak Pandal, which is located a few meters in front of me, as well as a number of dansals, as well as Bhakti Ki performances. So this is the final day of the Sirasa Vesak Kalape, and we expect the Vesak Kalape to be open well past midnight, so devotees still have time to come to the Sirasa Vesak Kalape located in Colombo 2 and pay homage to the sacred relics of Lord Buddha, as well as the Agra Shravaka Theros. Now, so we invite you once again to visit the Sirasa Vesak Kalape. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara from the Sirasa Vesak Kalape. Madhushka, it's back to you.
Thanks very much, Ramesh.
Welcome back. After 5 weeks of grueling campaign and voting spread over 9 stages, the world's largest display of representative democracy came to a close today, with the Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance appearing well on its way to winning more than 300 seats, much more than the 272 required to form a government. The Indian National Congress, India's grand old party meanwhile, has suffered its worst defeat in the history of general elections in India, and after 10 years in government was pushed to near obscurity by voters, failing to come close to even 100 seats. Chief of India's ruling Congress party Sonia Gandhi and her son Rahul, who led the party's electoral campaign, conceded defeat today at New Delhi in India. The Congress chief, while congratulating the BJP, said her party would continue to fight for its tradition, basic principles and ideals. Rahul Gandhi, son of Nehru Gandhi dynasty, who led a lackluster Congress campaign against Modi's electrifying charge, said he was disappointed with the results but congratulated the BJP on their victory nonetheless.
I'd like to start by congratulating the new government. They've been given a mandate by the people of our country, so I wish the new government all the best. From my part, the Congress party has done pretty badly. There's a lot for us to think about, and as Vice President of the party, I hold myself responsible for what has happened.
Stephanie Lazarus joins us now with a comprehensive analysis of the Indian polls.
While many pundits had predicted that whichever of the main parties won the election, they would have to form a coalition government, the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance has ridden the so-called Modi wave to claim the magical 272 seats required to form government. At the centre of this unprecedented landslide win was the enigmatic Narendra Modi, the man who will now become India's Prime Minister and head of the world's largest democracy.
The Lok Sabha comprises of a total of 543 seats with a single party or coalition requiring 272 seats to form a government. The BJP-led National Democratic Alliance has now surpassed the magical 272 mark and can form its own government without having to bargain with regional parties and so-called kingmakers, including Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha Jayaram's AIADMK. The prognosis for the Congress, however, appears to be ignominy for the time being after it failed to even come close to the 112 seats that marked its worst defeat thus far.
At the last general election in 2009, the United Progressive Alliance, or UPA, led by the Indian National Congress, formed the government after obtaining the majority of seats based on strong results in Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal.
Manmohan Singh became the first Prime Minister since Jawaharlal Nehru in 1962 to be re-elected after completing a full 5-year term. The UPA was able to put together a comfortable majority with support from 322 members out of 543 members of the House. The UPA alone had a plurality of over 260 seats as opposed to 218 seats in the 14th Lok Sabha, a far cry from their current position.
In previous elections, the two main Tamil Nadu political parties, the Dravida Munnetra Kalagam or DMK and the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kalagam, have played major roles in forming governments depending on which party won the state. This time, incumbent Chief Minister Jayalalitha Jayaram's AIADMK has won a resounding victory in Tamil Nadu, claiming more than 30 of the 39 available seats from the state. However, ironically, the NDA will not require the support of the AIADMK to form a government.
Jayalalitha had said yesterday that she will wait for the results to decide whether to ally with the BJP. Today she said, "I wish the new Prime Minister well," and stressed that her own party's result is historic, unparalleled in history because it has swept the state without an ally. The BJP's PM candidate Narendra Modi has often referred to his good friendship with the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. In this election campaign, the criticism they exchanged was far milder than the vitriolic personal attacks that became the norm among top leaders in the final weeks of canvassing for votes.
Newsfirst and NDTV have joined together on numerous occasions in the past in terms of reporting on news stories holding regional importance. NDTV has assisted in our coverage of the 2014 Lok Sabha polls too. Let's now join Rahul Srivastav, NDTV's political editor, on a Newsfirst NDTV special report.
Primarily, one can say is that since for the last 5 years, the ruling UPA government led by the Congress party went into a certain political and executive decision making which were largely being seen and interpreted as something called the trust deficit and also the governance deficit. The indecisiveness within the government, be it in terms of its politics or its economics, as the country tried to recover from an economic recession, be it the employment scenario or a larger national debate the Congress somewhere entered into a phase of disarray. And in that disarray, the people clearly things were looking for a government which was clear and decisive. While the regional players they had their own leadership, but they did not have a national presence. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi, the Congress Vice President, the Congress delayed his anointment as the virtual Prime Ministerial candidate till a very late time. And that delay caused the Congress, because by that time the public perception was already fixed. The BJP is not depending on Jalisa. One can certainly say that the Indian central government's policy vis-a-vis Sri Lanka might be much more independent of the pressure of the Tamils in Tamil Nadu than it would have been had it been the mandate been weaker.
As early trends showed a resounding victory for the BJP, crowds began pouring out into the streets in celebration across India.
In Raipur, city of India's central Chhattisgarh state, jubilant BJP supporters beat drums, burst firecrackers and waved flags. In Lucknow, in Uttar Pradesh state too, the beating of drums and the bang of fireworks heralded the BJP's victory. In other parts of India too, the orange of the BJP appeared to be the colour of the day. With his victory all but assured, Narendra Modi's first visit was to his aging mother in Ahmedabad.
From the very beginning of his campaign, the enigmatic Narendra Modi had proclaimed himself Prime Minister and led the campaign from the front with vigour. Let's take a brief look at the man who would be the leader of the world's largest democracy.
Narendra Modi, who has been Chief Minister of the western state of Gujarat since 2001, is seen as a dynamic and efficient leader who has made his state an economic powerhouse. But he is also accused of doing little to stop the 2002 religious riots when more than 1,000 people, mostly Muslims, were killed, allegations he has consistently denied. When he was named as the head of the BJP's campaign committee in June, Janata Dal United, a key ally of the BJP-led NDA, left the alliance, fearing that it would lose the support of Muslims in the state of Bihar, where it ran a coalition government. Modi became an international pariah after the riots. The US denied him visas and the UK cut off all ties with him. But a decade later, the controversial politician has been reintegrated into the political mainstream. A brilliant speaker, the Hindu hardline party's poster boy is often called the BJP's brightest star, and his supporters began a spirited Modi for PM campaign much before the party overcame some stiff internal differences to anoint him the candidate. Modi may polarize public opinion in India and abroad, but he has also been credited for bringing prosperity and development to Gujarat and enjoys support from some of India's top industrialists. As a result, he has been re-elected 3 times as the state's chief minister.
Now here at home, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has congratulated the BJP Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi on his resounding victory. Presidential spokesperson Mohan Samaranayake said that the President extended his wishes via telephone this afternoon. The President's spokesperson added that President Mahinda Rajapaksa had invited Narendra Modi to undertake his first state visit to Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to India, Prasad Karyavasam, also welcomed the victory of the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance.
The victory of BJP is warmly welcomed by Sri Lanka as the easy verdict given by people of India for a strong central government in India. We expect that Sri Lanka and India's friendship will be further strengthened by this easy victory of BJP and having a strong central government. We expect relations to go from strength to strength as a result of BJP victory.
In related news, Newsfirst also contacted an expert in international relations, a former director of economic affairs at the Commonwealth Secretariat, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy. He is a director of the renowned Sri Lankan think tank, the Pathfinder Foundation, which recently signed a memorandum of intent with the Vivekananda International Foundation in New Delhi to work towards enhancing relations between India and Sri Lanka. The BJP-leading Vivekananda International Foundation is a New Delhi-based think tank set up up with the collaborative efforts of India's leading security experts, diplomats, industrialists and philanthropists under the aegis of the Vivekananda Kendra.
Sri Lanka can also benefit from a more dynamic Indian economy, and the channels through which these benefits will flow are several. One is trade. If the Indian economy is booming, then we have a large and expanding export market at our doorstep. Also, a booming Indian economy will be a more attractive source of foreign investment. India is the dominant economy in South Asia, and a buoyant Indian economy increases the incentives for greater regional integration. South Asia is the least integrated region in the world, so there is considerable potential in terms of generating benefits through greater integration. And a booming Indian economy and the prospect of plugging in to the benefits flowing out of a thriving Indian economy will provide incentives for greater regional integration. So really there are benefits that can be gained for India, for Sri Lanka and for the region through a strong economic reform, pro-growth reform program initiated by Mr. Modi, and he has got the mandate now to do so.
Now in local news, Deputy Minister of Investment Promotion Faiza Mustafa says that caution should be exercised when reporting on issues with religious connotations. The Deputy Minister says that he is grateful to the Sirasa Media Network for its policy on not carrying reports that would spread communalism and insult any community.
ආගම්වාදය සහ ජාතිවාදය වපුරන නොයෙකුත් ප්‍රකාශන මාධ්‍යයේ පළවී ඇත.
There have been various reports in the media which spread religious divisions and communalism. Through these reports, groups that incite communalism use the media as a platform for their propaganda. For the sake of coexistence, I request the media to refrain from publishing statements that can incite communalism, because these kinds of statements can deal a massive blow to national peace, in my opinion.
ජාතික සමගියට ලොකු පහරක් හැටියට මා දකිනවා.
Veteran beautician Janet Balasuriya passed away this morning while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo.
Janet Balasuriya was 79 years old at the time of her death and was the loving mother of 5. Janet Balasuriya, who rendered a yeoman service to the hair and beauty industry in Sri Lanka, has won many accolades both locally and internationally for her pioneering work in introducing natural cosmetic products. Her remains are currently lying at her residence located down Sinsafa Road in Vellavata. The final rites will take place at the cemetery of the St. Mary's Church in Katukurunda, Moratua.
In business news tonight, a group of representatives of fisheries organizations in the Puttlam district have asserted that they are not in need of any alternative concessions to the fuel subsidy. They request that fuel prices be reduced if a fuel subsidy cannot be granted.
The government introduced a concession program for fishermen in 2012 when fuel prices were increased. The government announced that a new concession program for trawlers and nets will be introduced to replace the fuel subsidy program that has not been provided since mid last year. A meeting was held at the Puttlam District Fisheries Director's Office in Chilau today to raise awareness among representatives of fisheries organizations on the new program.
They have stopped granting the subsidy, saying that the concession program was misused. And there are irregularities in the concession programs initiated for farmers. We are not demanding the alternate concession. We request that a certain amount, say 20 rupees, be deducted from the fuel price. We are psychologically affected by these false promises. We will see progress if the fuel prices are reduced instead of the provision of alternative concessions.
We wanted to grant a new concession program after issues pertaining to selling concession cards arose in the past. We are discussing new methods instead of the old one to issue these cards to prevent such corruption with the fishermen who do not accept the old system. We are hoping to hold discussions with the fishermen with regard to this.
A new groundbreaking study at the Mayo Clinic in Minneapolis in the USA may have found a potential cure for some types of cancer. CBS reports that the study was conducted on 2 patients, with the first patient going into complete remission and the second patient showing a reduction of bone marrow cancer and myeloma protein after they were both given a high dosage of the measles vaccine. Researchers say they focused on these 2 patients for the study because they were the first 2 studied at the highest possible dose, had limited exposure to measles and didn't have any treatment options left. The Mayo Clinic is planning a larger study next fall to see whether the measles vaccine treatment is effective for a larger number of patients.
Well, with that, we wrap up this edition of Prime Time News. I'm Madhushka Balasurya.
I'm Sonali Wanigabadage. Good night.
Good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.